Judge rejects bail plea despite Diddy's lawyer warning that prison conditions are inhumane.
Judge denies bail despite claims of inhumane conditions at Brooklyn jail. Diddy's lawyer cites maggot-infested meals. Court refuses release.
On August 3, 2025, Diddy's lawyer, Mark Agnifilo, once again pleaded with Judge Aaron Subramanian to release Diddy on bail ahead of his October 3, 2025 sentencing.
No bail before sentencing. MDC conditions called notorious and unlivable.
The request was made on the basis of what the lawyer described as inhumane living conditions inside Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center, MDC, where Diddy has been held since September 2024. In his letter to the judge, Agnifilo painted a grim picture of daily life in the jail. According to him, the facility routinely serves expired meals, sometimes infested with maggots.
Defense warns of expired, insect-ridden food. Judge keeps Diddy behind bars.
One image reportedly showed rotten food crawling with insects, a scene his lawyer claimed was not uncommon at the notorious Federal Detention Center. Attorney Mark Agnifilo claims Diddy has been served expired and maggot-crawling food while awaiting sentencing. Living conditions at the MDC remain inhumane, and the conditions seem unlikely to improve due to aggressive government budget cuts, Agnifilo wrote in his letter. He emphasized that spoiled food was not a rare mishap, but a routine part of the meal service. The claim is backed by other reports over the years. Inmates have long complained that the food at MDC is often past its expiration date, and lawyers representing detainees have echoed those same concerns. For Diddy, whose life before prison was defined by private chefs and carefully curated meals, the shock of having to face plates of inedible food has been devastating. Diddy reportedly breaks down in tears after receiving rotten meat and maggot-infested fruit at MDC. According to insiders, Diddy has broken down in frustration when served food he described as unfit for human consumption. Maggot-infested apples, spoiled meat, and mushy bread are said to be staples of the menu. His lawyer later told the New York Post that the food was probably the roughest part of it for the rapper. The emotional toll has been immense. To go from enjoying fine dining at his Los Angeles mansion to weeping over inedible meals in a prison cafeteria has become a symbol of how much his world has changed. MDC menus promise comfort foods, like meatballs and Alfredo, but Diddy says meals arrive moldy and inedible. On paper, the Federal Bureau of Prisons offers meals that sound fairly normal: Swedish meatballs, scrambled eggs, chicken Alfredo, hot dogs, meatloaf, and breaded fish sandwiches. But behind bars, the reality is far less appetizing. Former inmates and lawyers say that what's actually served often arrives cold, expired, or crawling with insects. For Diddy, that gap between the menu on paper and the plate in front of him has been a breaking point. One insider said that at times he simply refuses to eat, surviving instead on commissary snacks to avoid risking food that makes him sick. Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center has a long history of freezing cells, power outages, and now maggot-filled meals. Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center has been the subject of controversy for decades. Known for frequent power outages, insufficient staffing, and overcrowding, the jail has been criticized in congressional hearings and media reports alike. Inmates have complained of freezing cells in winter, unbearable heat in summer, and food so spoiled it borders on dangerous. CNN has described the facility as infamous for its poor conditions, while the New York Daily News has reported on multiple complaints of maggots in meals going back years. Diddy's story is not unique, but as one of the world's most recognizable music moguls, his plight shines a brighter spotlight on what detainees have been living with for years. Diddy joins list of celebrity inmates complaining of rotten food after Ghislaine Maxwell found maggots in apple. Diddy is not the first celebrity to call out the jail's food. Ghislaine Maxwell, who was also held at MDC, told the Daily Mail in 2021 that she was fed rotten meals and once bit into an apple filled with maggots. She described the food as inedible and said she had not had a nutritious meal during her entire stay. These accounts, combined with Diddy's lawyer's recent letter, suggest the problem is systemic, not occasional. For a facility meant to house hundreds of detainees, the quality of meals continues to be one of the most complained about aspects of daily life. Diddy is preparing to spend his 4th of July in a very different way than usual.
Sean Diddy Combs won't be popping bottles and eating filet mignon this 4th of July, after he was denied bail. Sean Diddy Combs' July 4th will differ from expectations after his acquittal on major charges.
Far from the glitz and glamour he's known for, Diddy is currently being held at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, New York, as he awaits sentencing. In 2025, instead of celebrating the holiday with celebrity friends, fine dining, and fireworks, Diddy will be marking Independence Day behind bars with a modest, preset menu provided by the detention facility.
Sean Diddy Combs will be spending the 4th of July holiday behind bars at the Metropolitan Detention Center.
According to a representative from the center, Diddy's 4th of July 2025 will begin with a simple breakfast. On the menu, cereal, fresh fruit, milk, butter, and a breakfast cake.
Sean Diddy Combs won't be popping bottles and eating filet mignon this 4th of July, after he was denied bail.
While far from luxurious, it's a standard start to the day that many detainees receive. For lunch, there are more options to choose from. Diddy can pick between a hamburger or a bean burger, and he'll also have the choice of 2 hot dogs or soy dogs. The lunch spread also includes traditional comfort food like mac and cheese, a side of green beans, and a serving of fruit to round out the meal. Later in the day, dinner will include baked fish or black beans, accompanied by buttered noodles, mixed vegetables, 2 slices of wheat bread, and juice. The meal might not compare to what Diddy is used to, think upscale restaurants and catered parties, but it is consistent with the standard meals served at the detention center during holidays. While the holiday is typically a time for family cookouts and public celebrations, Diddy's current situation is a quieter and more reflective one. He remains in custody after Judge Arun Subramanian denied his team's request for bail. The judge ruled that his attorneys had not adequately shown that Diddy would pose no risk if released before sentencing. Diddy's recent trial lasted 8 weeks and ended with a mixed verdict. He was found not guilty on several of the more wild charges, but was convicted on 2 counts. Each of these charges carries a potential sentence of up to 10 years. His sentencing is scheduled for October 3rd, 2025. Outside the courtroom, reactions to the outcome were strong and varied. While many fans expressed support for Diddy, the atmosphere around the trial remained tense and filled with emotion. Some supporters gathered outside the Manhattan courthouse to cheer the partial verdict and celebrate what they saw as a victory. Diddy's lead attorney, Mark Agnifilo, also spoke positively about the outcome, calling it a great victory for both Diddy and the jury system itself. With sentencing still months away, Diddy remains in federal custody. Known for building one of the most recognizable brands in music and fashion, Diddy's influence once stretched across everything from hip-hop and R&B to reality TV and luxury fashion. He is the founder of Bad Boy Records, a label that helped launch the careers of iconic artists. He also created the Sean John fashion line, founded the Revolt TV network, and built a business empire that made him one of the wealthiest figures in entertainment. For now, though, all of that is on pause. Instead of launching new ventures or walking red carpets, Diddy's days are filled with scheduled meals, supervised routines, and the structure of detention center life. The contrast between his past 4th of July celebrations and this one couldn't be more striking. Despite the circumstances, many of Diddy's fans continue to show him support online and in public. Some believe this chapter will pass and that he'll eventually return to the spotlight. Others hope that this moment offers a time of reflection and change. As the summer continues and the holiday comes and goes, Diddy remains focused on the steps ahead. His attorneys may appeal parts of the case, but for now, the court's decision stands. Until his sentencing in October, he'll continue his stay in Brooklyn's federal detention facility, trading in his high-profile lifestyle for something much more restrained. During 4th of July 2025, while fireworks light up the skies across the country, Diddy will experience the holiday in a very different light, quietly, reflectively, and surrounded not by fans or friends, but by the 4 walls of his temporary home. Diddy's defense team is moving for a mistrial.
Trial of Sean Diddy Combs, a federal judge immediately rejected the defense's request for a mistrial.
The defense said we are moving for a mistrial based on prosecutorial misconduct. The motion was denied.
Sean Diddy Combs' defense team requested a mistrial after a dramatic turn during testimony in his federal trial. An investigator revealed that fingerprint evidence linked to a 2012 incident led to Kid Cudi's car having been demolished.
Lance Jimenez, an arson investigator, was asked about that Molotov cocktail that was found inside Kid Cudi's car.
Prosecutors allege the incident was ordered by Diddy in a jealous outburst related to his ex-girlfriend, Cassie. The investigator testified that fingerprints were found on the bottle used in the situation, though they belonged to an unidentified woman.
Investigator was testifying about the Molotov cocktail thrown into Kid Cudi's car back in January 2012.
He also revealed that Kid Cudi had previously provided fingerprint cards from a 2011 burglary, an incident where Diddy was reportedly present. Crucially, the investigator said those fingerprint cards were destroyed in 2012.
After a witness revealed fingerprints connected to the alleged break-in had been destroyed.
Diddy's lawyers argued that the lost evidence could have been key to proving their client's innocence if the prints didn't match. They accused the prosecution of introducing prejudicial information, knowing it could ruin Diddy's defense. The defense demanded a mistrial, claiming the loss of potentially exculpatory evidence was unfair. However, the judge denied the motion, allowing the trial to continue as scheduled. This incident adds to the mounting tension surrounding the high-profile case, which includes testimonies from several celebrity witnesses. Meghan Markle wore 5-inch heels while pregnant. Meghan Markle isn't one to sacrifice style, even during pregnancy. On her Confessions of a Female Founder podcast, Meghan opened up about continuing to wear 5-inch stilettos while pregnant with her son, Archie, in 2019. Speaking with Spanx founder Sarah Blakely, Meghan shared that a friend recently reminded her of a photo showing her dressed impeccably while so pregnant and still confidently wearing pointy-toed heels. "I gained 65 pounds with both pregnancies," Meghan said, but she never gave up her favorite footwear. She joked that her weight was all in the front, making her wonder how she didn't topple over. "Please don't let me fall," she recalled telling her husband, Prince Harry, while clinging to him for balance. Blakely noted her own footwear struggles before launching the Sneaks, a sneaker heel hybrid, which Meghan praised as the antidote. Meghan Markle also hinted at her own future in fashion. In a recent Fast Company interview, she shared plans to expand her As Ever lifestyle brand, revealing that clothing is a category she hopes to explore soon. "It's an interesting space for me," she said, teasing what's next on her entrepreneurial journey. Brad Pitt breaks his silence on his divorce from Angelina Jolie. After nearly 8 years of drama, Brad Pitt has finally spoken publicly about his high-profile divorce from Angelina Jolie. In a new GQ interview promoting his upcoming racing film F1, Brad described the end of the lengthy drama as just something coming to fruition, legally, downplaying its emotional weight. Brad Pitt and Angelina, who share 6 children, separated in 2016 after marrying in 2014. Despite the prolonged headlines, Brad seemed unfazed. "It's been in the news for 30 years, bro," he said, referring to the constant scrutiny of his personal life. Now in a steady relationship with jewelry executive Inez de Ramon, Brad Pitt expressed contentment. "Life just evolves. Relationships evolve," he shared, brushing off suggestions their recent red carpet appearance was strategically timed. The F1 star also reflected on the pressures of fame, calling it a nagging time suck, but admitted his latest film reignited his passion for acting. "It just reinvigorated the whole thing again for me," he said. With a busy summer ahead, including premieres in New York and London, Brad Pitt seems focused on his career, love life, and finding peace after a turbulent chapter. How much time is Diddy actually going to serve? Here's what experts say.
The mogul, who prosecutors accuse of running a sex trafficking ring, acquitted of 3 of 5 charges against him.
Biggest obstacle for the prosecution is to show this distinction, being an actual criminal enterprise.
Sean Diddy Combs might be looking at less prison time than many expected, even after being convicted on 2 federal charges related to transporting individuals across state lines. And according to experts, the time he's already spent in jail could cover most, if not all, of his final sentence. Diddy was facing a much more severe outcome. If convicted on the most serious charges in his trial, Diddy could have been sentenced to life in prison. But when the jury returned its verdict, he was acquitted of those more serious accusations and found guilty on 2 lesser counts. And now the conversation is shifting from what happened to what's next. So, how much time is Diddy actually going to serve? According to former federal prosecutor Mitchell Epner, probably not much. Eppner told the New York Post that based on the federal sentencing guidelines, Diddy's convictions will likely carry a recommended sentence of 15 to 21 months. That might sound like a lot at first glance, but here's the twist. Diddy had already been in custody for nearly 10 months since his arrest on September 16, 2024. That time counts. There's a real chance he's already served most of the time the guidelines suggest, Eppner said. He also noted that judges have some discretion, and Diddy's team will almost certainly push for a sentence on the lower end of that range, or ask for time served entirely. Another former federal prosecutor, Nima Rahmani, echoed that prediction in an interview with People magazine. He is likely going to get little to no time, Rahmani said. He may even get time served. Even though Diddy was convicted, he might not stay behind bars much longer. Whether he walks out of court after sentencing or serves just a few more months, the major consequence of a decades-long prison sentence is now off the table. Rahmani called the jury's decision a major win for Diddy and his defense team, and a big disappointment for prosecutors. This is the most expensive prostitution trial in American history, Rahmani said bluntly. The government would not have brought this case had they thought they could only get these charges. That's a huge statement, especially considering the resources that went into investigating and prosecuting this case. From high-profile raids of Diddy's homes in Miami and Los Angeles, to the courtroom drama that followed, the trial captivated the nation. Now, many are questioning what the long-term impact of it all will really be. While no official sentencing date has been set yet, it's expected to take place within the next few months in 2025. In the meantime, Judge Arun Subramanian is weighing whether to allow Diddy out on bail while he awaits that hearing. According to Eppner, that decision could go in Diddy's favor, especially given that he's already been incarcerated at the Metropolitan Detention Center, MDC, in Brooklyn, a facility widely regarded as one of the toughest in the country. If he does get additional prison time, it's likely he'll serve it at a lower security institution, Eppner said, or maybe even in a barrack-style camp, which is a very different experience. Diddy's team has already proposed a bond of $1 million and is also requesting that he be allowed to travel between New York, Florida, and California until sentencing. Prosecutors have pushed back on that, and Judge Subramanian has yet to make a final call. While this chapter may be coming to a close sooner than expected, the full impact on Diddy's career, business ventures, and public image remains to be seen. His family has stood by his side throughout the trial, and some fans have celebrated the verdict, seeing it as a victory. Others, however, are still processing everything that came out in court. What's certain is that Diddy's team pulled off a major courtroom success by avoiding the most serious convictions. Whether or not you support him, it's hard to deny that this verdict has shifted the entire conversation around the case. Diddy could end up getting pardoned by Trump even if he is found guilty.
Would U.S. President Donald Trump pardon Diddy? That was the question posed to him on Friday.
First of all, I'd look at what's happening, and I haven't been watching it too closely, although it's certainly getting a lot of coverage.
The courtroom drama surrounding Sean Diddy Combs is grabbing headlines, but a new twist could take this story from the courthouse all the way to the White House.
It's different. You become a much different person when you run for politics and you do what's right.
Diddy, who's currently facing a heavy trial, including a federal trial, may have a powerful option on the table: a possible presidential pardon from Donald Trump. And in a surprising development, fellow rapper Curtis 50 Cent Jackson says he's planning to speak directly with the former president about it.
50 Cent's going to the Oval Office, eventually, to have a chat with President Donald Trump about Diddy.
There's a big possibility Trump pardons Diddy. Former President Trump, known for issuing high-profile pardons during his time in office, has recently suggested that he would consider doing the same for Diddy, even if Diddy is found guilty in his ongoing case.
Would U.S. President Donald Trump pardon Diddy? That was the question posed to him on Friday.
During a recent interview, Trump was asked about the possibility of offering a pardon to Diddy. Though he didn't commit to any decision, he didn't rule it out either. That was enough to get people talking, and for 50 Cent to weigh in. 50 Cent speaks out about Trump pardoning Diddy. 50 Cent took to social media to share his reaction to Trump's statement. In one post, he wrote, "He said some really bad things about Trump. It's not okay. I'm gonna reach out so he knows how I feel about this guy." The comment sparked a wave of speculation online. Many believed 50 Cent was planning to convince Trump not to pardon Diddy at all, a claim that quickly went viral. But 50 Cent wasn't having it. He returned to clarify what he meant, saying he wasn't trying to sway Trump's opinion on a pardon one way or the other. Instead, he said his goal was to give the former president a clearer picture of Diddy's history, particularly what 50 claims are past comments Diddy made about Trump. In other words, 50 isn't necessarily trying to get Diddy locked up for good, but he also doesn't want the former president making decisions without hearing his side of the story. 50 Cent and Diddy are at odds with each other all the time. The relationship between 50 Cent and Diddy has never exactly been warm. The two artists have traded barbs in interviews and on social media for years. But 50 has turned up the heat since Diddy was arrested in late 2023. During the whole Diddy trial and incident, 50 Cent has posted memes, comments, and even an AI-generated image of himself wearing a Free Diddy t-shirt, poking fun at his longtime industry rival. While the posts are often humorous on the surface, they've clearly been fueled by strong feelings about the situation. Now, 50 says it's time to speak his mind in person, and not just to his fans. It's not every day that a rapper announces he's heading to the Oval Office, but 50 Cent seems serious. While no official visit to the White House has been confirmed yet, he told fans that he plans to meet with Trump directly to share his thoughts about Diddy and his history. What exactly that conversation will include remains to be seen. But 50's approach is consistent with his recent political tone. Over the years, he's been outspoken on a number of political topics, including taxes, business policy, and now criminal justice. People are worried Trump is going to pardon Diddy. It's not unusual for presidents to consider pardons for high-profile figures, and Trump has a track record of granting clemency to celebrities and TV personalities. He famously pardoned reality stars Todd and Julie Chrisley, which made headlines across the country. In Diddy's case, however, the situation is much more complex. The trial against him is ongoing and involves serious claims, including testimony from a former assistant using the name Mia. The court is still hearing evidence, and no verdict has been reached.
Sean Diddy Combs' accuser, known only as Jane, returned to the stand, unleashing a fresh wave of bombshell revelations. The testimony plunged deeper into the dark allegations, with Jane recalling an electrifying party where she claims she was with an unnamed famous rapper, his girlfriend, and a male escort. The morning hours were consumed by intense legal wrangling as Combs' formidable legal team, alongside prosecutors and the judge, fiercely debated whether to unmask the rapper's identity. This high-stakes deliberation unfolded alongside discussions about a mysterious, unspecified issue surrounding Jane's explosive testimony, where she has accused Diddy of coercing her into encounters with male adult workers. In a dramatic cross-examination, attorney Tenny Garagos relentlessly pressed Jane, aiming to dismantle her credibility. The defense's core strategy is clear: to portray the woman, testifying under a pseudonym for protection, as a willing participant in the alleged, sometimes weekly encounters with male adult workers, encounters Diddy allegedly orchestrated and observed for hours. Diddy's legal team addressed an event from January 2024 involving Jane in a Las Vegas hotel room. They spoke about the importance of using certain names currently protected by an anonymity order, stating this would allow the public to provide information relevant to the case. Prosecutor Maureen Comey countered, asserting that sufficient details had already been disclosed. The judge agreed with the prosecution, declining to modify the order, and emphasized that this was a collateral issue, not directly related to the charges. Once back on the stand, Jane described traveling to Las Vegas on a private plane with a famous rapper and his girlfriend in January 2024. She testified that she observed Anton, one of the male adult services workers, engaged in an act with someone while the rapper and his girlfriend watched. Jane also stated that she flirted with the rapper at the party and claimed the rapper expressed having a crush on her. During cross-examination, Jane made a surprising admission. She still loves her ex, Sean Diddy Combs. Diddy reportedly smiled as Jane recounted shared good times, including her willingness to cuddle with Diddy and give him massages. She even referred to him as her baby and recalled hugging, cuddling, and bathing him. Jane also shared that she would put on Diddy's favorite show, Dateline, and they would watch it for hours, smiling as she described these moments. During the 5th week of Sean Diddy Combs' trial, his ex-girlfriend, identified as Jane, testified about his alleged wildest fantasy. On the 2nd day of her testimony, Jane described a twisted NBA role-play scenario. She stated that Combs would cast himself as Michael Jordan, her as Kobe Bryant, and the male adult worker she regularly saw as Shaquille O'Neal. Furthermore, Jane detailed freak-offs that she attended during their relationship. She characterized these events as filled with extravagant role-play where participants adopted nicknames inspired by legendary basketball stars so that Diddy could explore certain aspects of his personality without actually admitting that he's into men. During his ongoing trial, Sean Diddy Combs has been observed carrying and reading a self-help book in court. He reportedly held the book up towards the gallery. The book in question is The Magic of Believing, a 1948 publication by Claude M. Bristol. This particular title, published shortly after World War II, was originally conceived as a resource to assist soldiers returning from the conflict in processing their trauma and reintegrating into civilian life. The book describes itself as an exploration of the secrets behind harnessing the unlimited energies of the subconscious, focusing on the power of positive thinking and belief in achieving one's goals. The choice of such a book by Combs in the midst of a high-profile legal battle has drawn attention. His consistent presence with the book, as noted by observers including the Washington Post, suggests a personal engagement with its themes of resilience and mental fortitude during a challenging period.
Capricorn Clark says Diddy made a wild comment on her first day and didn't hold back about 50 Cent.
Capricorn Clark sobbed on the stand as she told the jury about her punishing years working for Sean Combs. Capricorn Clark previously referred to Sean Combs as the devil when she described what it was like working for him.
Capricorn Clark, who worked as Diddy's assistant for nearly a decade, gave some jaw-dropping testimony in court. On her very first day on the job, she says Diddy and his longtime security guard took her on a late-night walk in Central Park, where Diddy allegedly told her that because she used to work for a rival, he might have to do something if there were ever problems.
Capricorn Clark takes stand at trial of music mogul who has pleaded not guilty to all charges.
Later, Capricorn recalled being in an elevator with Diddy after a run-in with rapper 50 Cent at an event. She said he turned serious and told his team, "I don't like the back and forth. I like big responses," hinting at how he handles things like that.
The former assistant told the court that while employed at Combs' company, her life was threatened about 50 times.
Capricorn also testified that years later, Diddy had her come along during an unexpected visit to a musician's home. She says she was so nervous about what might happen, she called ahead to warn them. After leaving Bad Boy, Capricorn reflected online, saying she'd spent years watching people stay loyal to someone she called the devil. Diddy has denied all wrongdoing and says the stories being told about him are completely false. Diddy was sad after missing his twin daughter's graduation amid his trial. Diddy was really sad because he couldn't be there in person for his twin daughters, Jessie and Delilah's high school graduation. It was such a big moment for them, graduation and prom, and he wanted nothing more than to celebrate with them. Even though he's behind bars right now, sources say Diddy made sure to give his family clear instructions to focus fully on the twins and keep the day free of any drama. He especially wanted the family to be there for Jessie and Delilah, since their mom, Kim, sadly passed away a few years ago. The whole family, including the twins' godmother, Kimora Lee Simmons, showed up to support the girls and stayed strong together. Diddy has been their primary caretaker for years, but since his arrest in September 2024, close family friends have been helping out. Jessie, Delilah, and their siblings have also been visiting Diddy in prison and standing together through his ongoing trial. Some outsiders have criticized having the kids involved in court, but the family is trying to stay united and strong during this time. Diddy continues to plead not guilty and fights to clear his name. Meghan Markle's heartfelt note delights flight crew on a recent American Airlines flight. An American Airlines flight attendant recently shared a heartwarming story about meeting Meghan Markle on a commercial flight. Nina, who works as a flight attendant, was thrilled to serve Meghan Markle and described her as beautiful and so sweet. After Nina and her crew gave Meghan a handwritten note signed AA Girlies, Meghan surprised them by sending back a special reply on a small napkin. Meghan's note thanked them for their kindness and hospitality, signing off with, "As ever, Meg," a nod to her lifestyle brand. Nina also shared a fun moment when Meghan complimented her manicure, saying she loved the nails. even joking with the captain who had called them intense. The handwritten exchange quickly went viral on TikTok, with fans praising Nina for the memorable encounter. Meghan's appreciation for handwritten notes is well known. She has called them a lost art form, and believes taking the time to write by hand is very special. This sweet moment highlights Meghan's warm and thoughtful nature, leaving a lasting impression on the flight crew. Royal experts doubt a reconciliation between King Charles and Prince Harry during Canada visit. Royal experts say any hopes of a reunion between King Charles and his son Prince Harry during the King's upcoming trip to Canada are unlikely. The King and Queen will be in Canada from May 26th to 27th in 2025, while Harry lives in California. Despite the close timing and location, sources say there are no plans for a private meeting. Experts point to the long-standing tension since Harry and his wife stepped back from royal duties in 2020. Harry's recent public interviews and disputes, especially about his security in the UK, have made reconciliation more difficult. Some say the king fears private conversations could be made public. Others explain that royal visits are tightly scheduled months in advance, leaving little room for unplanned meetings, even with family. Harry has expressed a desire to heal the relationship, but royal insiders say he must take responsibility and show humility first. While Harry and the king have seen each other briefly since the king's recent health diagnosis, many believe a meaningful reunion remains far off. Both sides seem caught in a complicated and sensitive family situation. Justin Bieber's surprise stage appearance raises concern among concert crew. Justin Bieber's unexpected appearance at SZA's recent Sophie Stadium show surprised fans, but also worried those involved in the event. The pop star joined SZA on stage during her and Kendrick Lamar's tour, performing their hit song together. While the crowd was excited, sources close to the show described Justin as disconnected and not himself. A crew member said Justin seemed like a ghost walking around, often talking to himself and acting confused. He reportedly was indulging in some vices before going on stage, which added to concerns. One insider said the affectionate moments at the end of the performance felt forced, as if Justin was seeking attention. Those working backstage felt the moment wasn't right, especially given the challenges Justin is facing in his personal life. Fans and friends have expressed worry about his well-being, urging him to seek support. Justin has recently canceled many shows due to health struggles and has shared concerning posts online. Despite efforts to stay strong with his wife and young son, sources say the couple is under significant strain. Many hope Justin gets the help he needs to stay healthy and focused.